Hi, everyone. We're so happy that you're joining us for another episode of Evolving You, where we encourage you to embrace your next realm. I don't know why that you was so hard, but I am your host, Danielle, and that is our favorite co-host,
Cardell.
Hi. We are, what are we talking about this week? Oh, you actually picked a topic because
Process.
the backstory of this topic is our topic 2 weeks ago. Our last episode was the purpose of your why, understanding your why, knowing your why, everything surrounding your why. So this week, we're coming to you with the process of reconstruction. And here's the funny part here. We really didn't have this topic before we hit record. Like, we were like, what are we talking about? What's going on here? But your boy, Cardell, who's so tapped in and in tune with Jesus, praise the Lord, hallelujah. He said, Lord, drop a word, and we definitely got a word. So as he said that, I started thinking about our process, and by our process, I mean the transitions process. We have been through a lot of reconstruction, and Cardell came with the topic today of the process of the reconstruction. Which I just thought about this. Thank you, Lord. Sometimes we get so agitated at construction, but we like the end result of the construction. So sometimes you may have to go through a process of a little agitation. You have to go through the process of a little work, a little hard work. You got to put in some time. You got to change your route. You have to detour. You have to pivot. But the end result of that construction is whatever was under construction is now better because of the construction. Rewind that, and then share with your friends, because that was some good teaching right there. So we're going to talk about the process of reconstruction, and with that, I'm going to try to talk slower this episode. And Cardell, don't do you. And with that, we're going to break down what it means to go through that process. And that entails being knowledgeable, that entails being comfortable, and it entails understanding you and your product. So, Cardell, which one of those topics you want to hop in on first?
Let's go with the knowledgeable.
Ooh, okay, knowledgeable.
So with this business, with being an entrepreneur, you really hop into this not knowing anything. You don't know how to do, don't know what to do. And that's basically how the transition started, on not knowing anything. We had no previous business experience. I mean, I went to school for marketing, but in school, they really don't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. They just basically prepare you to go into the workforce. They're not preparing you to actually do it for yourself. So understanding the licenses and trying to connect with different individuals just so you can know I'm going the right direction, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, is a major key, because now my mindset is switching, because it really just hit me lately from working a 9-to-5 and then going to an entrepreneur. I have to reconstruct the way that my mindset is processing things, because I'm used to a 9-to-5, everything just being there, not having to work for it, not having to find anything, just literally just having everything at my disposal. But now with everything not at my disposal, now I'm in reconstruction to find the path that I need to find. Because now, okay, I'm not working a 9-to-5, so I have free time. So now I need to construct my free time into business time. So how do I construct my business time into, how do I construct that now? Because now family say, oh, you're an entrepreneur, you don't have to work no 9-to-5. come here, go there, do this, do that. Now I'm getting pulled all these different types of directions, but I'm still not doing what I need to do. But now I have to restructure my mindset of saying, hey, I am an entrepreneur. This is still a business. I should still treat this like a 9 to 5, but it's my 9 to 5. I still work the hours that I want to work, but I need to understand the hours that I work. I need to actually work those hours. I need to be disciplined enough to know that I have to do this, because if I don't do it, I don't make nothing for myself. I'm not developing anything for myself. So now my knowledge has been changed and ripped apart and broken, and everything that happens in Reconstruction, like a new road, they literally have to break that road. You literally have to break everything that you know from that 9 to 5 and let that new pavement come in. Because if you keep working on that old pavement without removing it, getting that out the way and laying down something new, you're going to still be stuck on a bumpy and undeveloped road, or you didn't do it the right way. And then the road is going to, that cycle that you're building new for yourself is going to literally break. So in the process, you have to realize, I need to be broken, I need to be removed, and then I need to lay something new. And then once you do those 3 things, then you should have a easier understanding of how to go forward in your business. Because now I am able to see the road clearer, and it's going to be a smooth ride. Because just think about when you get on that new pavement, after that road has been shut down, everything's been a mess. But as soon as your car has been hitting those doom, 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 and then as soon as you hit that smooth pavement, your car is as quiet as can be. You don't have to hear no extra foolishness. You don't have to stress about nothing no more, because you've done all the due diligence that you needed to get the knowledge that you needed and to travel on a smoother path.
That is some good teaching. I don't want to hype you up because I don't want you to become Kanye West egotistical here, but broken, removed, and new. That's good. I'm glad we started with knowledgeable, because knowledge is power. That's not just a cliche, it's really true. Because when we were speaking of knowledgeable for this, we were saying in the essence of knowing yourself before hopping out there in your business. And even when you're in your business and you're well into your brand and you're making those millions of dollars, being knowledgeable and knowing you is so important, because we can't get stuck into this image that society wants us to be. We can't get stuck into the image of what our friends want us to be. Cardell mentioned how a lot of people say, oh, you're an entrepreneur, you're not tied down to the business hours. You may be able to make up your own hours, but there is still some structure there, because in construction, you still have structure. So you have to make sure that in a process, you are still, you still have that foundation, and you still have that structure, so that you're not swaying left or just swaying right, or out here just doing unnecessary construction projects. Let's make sure that we are working on whatever you want. What was I going with that? Let's make sure you're working on whatever you know is going to lead you to your destiny. We're not working on bettering the detour. We are working on bettering the main road, so that we can get off of the detour. You missed the message, but it's okay. I'm gonna rewind it for you. We're not working on the detour. We're working on the main road, so that we can perfect the main road and get off of the detour. And our second thing is being comfortable. So with knowledge, you want to be comfortable with you. And this is not, let's be clear here, because me and Cardell knows my saying, I don't want to be comfortable with being comfortable. That's not what comfortable means here. When we say comfortable in this essence, we're not saying be comfortable with being comfortable. You should always want more. You should always change, because here it is. How can you evolve yourself and get to the next realm if you're comfortable with where you are? So we're not talking about comfort in that sense. We're talking about comfortable in knowing that when you gain that knowledge to finally start the process of reconstruction, when you say to yourself, I need to do something more. I read this post today that said, If something is unsettled in your spirit, then that means you need to do more. That means something where you are is bothering you and you know you should be doing more. So if you are comfortable right there, then you really are not ready to embrace that next round. So when we say comfort in this essence of the process of reconstruction, I feel like I'm teaching a sermon right now. But when we say comfort in that essence, we mean, okay, I know I need to change. And I know I need to go this direction. Let's stay with construction. I know this highway needs to be better. I know we need to make some improvements here. But the comfort is knowing that you're confident in yourself to make the change, knowing that you're confident in yourself that you can do the task. Meaning, you're not going to let other people complaints because you're going to have drivers, you're going to have haters come to you and say, why you want to do that? You want to do that much construction? You want to fix that much? We got to tear up all of this. We have to remove all of this. Why are you removing them? Y'all have been friends for years. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about anybody. Why you want to tear up all of this road? This road has been here for years. That is what we mean by comfortable, being comfortable in your decision, not being comfortable in your situation. Catch that and run with it. It's being comfortable in knowing that you need to do more. It's being comfortable in knowing that, okay, I need to make a change. I'm comfortable in knowing that I need to make a change. And I'm also going to be comfortable in my decision and not sway when somebody questions my decision. Because I feel like that's a lot of times, I'm speaking for me, sometimes I do get a little down on myself because I take the opinions of some people into consideration. Into consideration is key. I take the opinions of some people into consideration from some people because I'm like, I really low key, high key admire them. But then I feel like that's where we get into, Cardell, you brought this up earlier, the dangers of distractions, which was our former, like our old post. Go back and listen to some podcasts. But you get into the dangers of distractions. So, Cardell, I'm asking you now, like, what? And I'm asking you this because I know I've said this to you before. What is like another thing that you feel like some people could get comfortable in, and we really shouldn't be comfortable there? How can we get out of that space?
It's deep.
Right. I know. I'm asking you that because I know we've talked about this before.
To get out of that space of where sometimes we let people put us in a box. So when we let them put us in a box, we don't know how to get out of that box because we think that they're the only ones that has a key, or we think that they're the only ones that know how to get us out of that situation. But sometimes you got to realize that even though they have you in a box, you have to think outside of that box. You have to realize that sometimes the information that you give, it may be good, but you have to apply it for your situation. When people give advice, even when we give advice on here, you take what applies to you, but don't take the whole thing. As a saying that I used to say all the time, don't put your eggs all in one basket. Don't put all the words and the actions that a person tells you in one basket, because if that basket falls, now you have nothing. So you don't want to be caught up in a situation where you're lost with nothing, but you need something to actually still move on. You need that self-confidence to still move on. And like Daniel said, when you live in that comfortability, it's not the comfortability of I just want to stay here. It's the comfortability of I need more, because now my comfort is different. I always say, change your perspective. My comfort is different than where my comfort used to be. My comfort used to be that this 9 to 5 is where my money is coming from. So now I'm comfortable in a whole nother realm of being an entrepreneur, but now I'm not comfortable where I'm at. But now I have to get to a place where I'm comfortable enough to say that I'm in a good place. I don't need no more and I don't need no less. So you just have to really figure out where you are in that stance of that lifetime. Like, is that at work? Or are you comfortable where you at? Are you comfortable with the position? Are you comfortable with the way that people are treating you? Are you comfortable with the way that people are talking to you? Because at the end of the day, you have to know your self-worth. If you don't know your self-worth, people going to treat you any type of way. But once you know your self-worth, you know that what you're capable of, you know what you can do, then you're able to actually evolve even more and be in more of a comfort state.
This podcast, I say it every single time, but they really do bless me. And again, side note, if you don't hype yourself, then who will hype you? If you don't support your product, then who will support your product? I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, we went through 1, knowledgeable, 2, comfort, 3 is understanding. Again, the process of reconstruction. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to be comfortable with your decision that construction is needed. And lastly, you have to understand. Now, I'm going to jump off and start with understanding from the sense of understanding that change is needed, which goes back to being comfortable with the change and then being knowledgeable of what is the change that is needed. They all work together. It's all working together. I'm not saying that we are like Romans 8:28 right here, but this is working together. This podcast is working. So with understanding, I was talking to Cardell earlier about one of our clients and how we had to go back to the drawing boards in the sense, and not because we got something wrong, but because we saw that our usual pattern was not what was the best route for this client. So we have to be comfortable with ourselves and know, hey, we can't just be like so hard on ourselves to say we've always done this, so it has to work this way. We have to understand that a pivot was needed. And when we made that pivot, we then start to understand, okay, now we know, we understand now what we need to do to help this client better. And I think that goes along with the construction process, and it's so important because if you don't understand the pivot, if you don't understand the detour, then the construction was pointless. Like if you don't understand that the change was needed, then why are we breaking up the road? Why are we being comfortable with breaking up the road, but you don't understand the process? That is why we added that in, because we wanted to share with you all our process. And I'm going to let my favorite student, because he loves school, I don't know why, but Cardell even came to me and said, hey, I think we need to start this 10-week course. And I'm like, school? We need to do what? But that was, shout out to him, because that was him knowing that construction was needed and being comfortable with the decision of saying, I'm not just going to do this by myself, but because I want this business to go to the next round, I'm going to bring my business partner in on this, and we're going to go through this construction together. Because some of us, let me put a pin right there, though. Some of us, we like to go through the process by ourselves, and then when the circle is not coming up, we want to say, wow, what happened? What happened to you? I was here, but where were you? Because you didn't invite them along in the construction process. You wanted them there when you were broken, but you didn't want them to complete the process with you. I just preached to myself right there. I'm sorry. Calm me down. Calm me down. Whoa. Lord, calm me down. Anyway, Cardell, go with your that. I gotta meditate on that. The analogy of the your school or whatever direction you want to go. I'm sorry, I'm over here. I'm totally.
Yeah, when it comes to the understanding component, you have to understand where you are, and you have to understand that you want something more for yourself, not just a regular, not just getting by every single day. You want to understand that I know I need help. You have to be able to accept help to get help. Because if you're not able to accept help when help comes or when help arrives, because like with this program that we were just in, I believe they used to have to pay for this program. But I saw it and I went forward because I'm just like, okay, I don't have to pay nothing for it. What am I losing? All I'm doing is going to gain knowledge for free. And when you get an opportunity to gain knowledge for free, why not take it? Why not sit down with somebody that you already know that does what you do? Don't be so high and mighty that you feel like you can't talk to nobody, that you can't lay out your issues, that because everybody goes through this. That's an entrepreneur. Everybody goes through every hoop and hurdle, but you have to stop. You have to get off of your high horse and say, I need help. You have to make up in your mind that you need help. If you don't feel like you need help, you're not going to get help. That's the first thing I think in psychology. You have to acknowledge. It's called acknowledging that I have a problem. And once you acknowledge that you have your problem, you've worked on that problem. Now, if you decide to never say that I have a problem, then you're always going to be stuck on that bumpy, rough road. But once you address that I have a problem, I know I have a problem, and let somebody coach you through your problem, then that's where you start evolving. And that's the purpose of this podcast. Is not that we think that we know everything. We just want to share an understanding of what we've been through. We want to share an understanding of how we had the struggle. We want to show you the understanding that it's not going to be always peaches and cream. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes you're going to have people talk to you crazy. Sometimes you're not going to know what to do, go right, go left. You're going to have personal things in your life that's happening, and you're trying to run this business. So it's like so many things you have to understand. But once you understand it, you're going to walk into your greatness. And then once you get past that first year, that second year, and now we're in our third year of business, we understand nothing can stop us. We have done the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost for the good old church people. We've done all three. So now the Holy Ghost is walking with us. So it's no turning back because we done came this far by faith. We done came this far. We can't go back to where we came from because all we can do is go forward. So that's what I want you to understand. Once you start going somewhere, don't turn back. Keep going. You don't know what destiny is on the other side of that blessing. You don't understand where you're going and how where you're going is going to bless somebody else or how it's going to put you in position. Don't miss your blessing because you don't want to keep going. Because that's a part of understanding. I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I'm going is going to be much greater. I know when I walk through this door, it's going to open up another opportunity. Because when you have that understanding, things just happen. For instance, Danielle said, take a business card with you. Because we was doing something for our clients, something special. And I said, okay. She said, take your business card. When you go in there, I know the person that owns the place, they always in there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I could have been like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I always take a business card. I always give it to the business owner because you always want to try to connect. But if I was in the wrong mindset, I'd be like, yeah, she just talking. I don't want to talk to nobody. But I had the conscious understanding we're trying to reach more clients. I have the conscious understanding that me doing this can put us in a different position. Not knowing that once I introduced myself and I told the lady, gave her a business card and said, hello, my name is Cardell. And she said, tell me what you do. I said, well, we are all-inclusive marketing agency that deals with digital marketing, where that classifies as your social media, creating posts, doing logos. And then we also do traditional marketing that deals with flyers and posters and all these different things. And she said, oh, okay. Pull around the building. And I'm like, pull around the building? Like, Jesus, what's happening? What is lady trying to get me to do?
Pull around the building.
Pull around to the beige door. What beige door? What's happening? So I pull around to the beige door and she comes out and she says, I need this done. Can you do this? I need it for tomorrow. In my head, I'm like, well, let me think on some things and I'll get back with you today. And so I called Danielle, I said, Danielle, this lady wants this project done. Can we get this done tomorrow? She said, let's do it. So we got everything together, ran it smoothly, got a whole paycheck. off whim, just because I have the understanding that when you want to see a difference in your business, you have to do stuff that you're not always comfortable with. Because for me, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I am not a people person. It may not look like it, but I'm not. I will talk to a person if you talk to me first.
That's
And then I will have to
you know
decide if I'm really still going to talk to you. Because I'll still say, oh, hey, how you doing? But I won't carry on the whole conversation. But now Danielle, on the other hand, she be acting like she don't be talking to people, but you get her talking, she just going to keep going. That's not me. That's not my passion. That's not me. But I really had the understanding I'm a full-time entrepreneur. This is how you make business moves, just by introducing yourself and giving a business card. So just me, in the midst of my reconstruction, I had to get out of that mode of don't be afraid to talk, or don't get in that mentality that I don't like talking to people, but having the mentality that you are a business owner. Every time you open your mouth, that's how you make your money. Having a closed mouth, you're not going to be fed. Having a closed mouth is not going to get you there. So I had to reconstruct everything that I'm comfortable with and be uncomfortable to get in a comfortable state of making me money. Period.
I want to go back to when you said, when you gave explained how giving your business card to that one client actually turned into a paycheck. That wasn't just us acting in that moment, but I want to go back to the construction project before that moment. It was us listening and you seeing that class available for us to both go to. And we went through it. We had actually just graduated, and then you already had perfected the pitch to give it to her, which sold us, or which sold her, and said, hey, pull around to the back. Had we not gone through the construction project of that class to perfect what we already knew, we already had the pitch in us. We didn't write something new. It was already in us. It was always the brand. It's on our website. But going to this class, it like boosted, almost, it was like a confidence booster. It boosted the confidence, and it said, your prices are great. The way you're doing business, that's great. That's good. But how do we be better? How do we go to the next round? And that's exactly what this class did. It boosted our pitch. It boosted the confidence so that when we approach clients, we're not, oh, I'm just this little marketing agency. No. We are the transition, digitally evolving. And we are all inclusive. That helped us so that Cardell was then able to hand her the card with confidence, because we went through a construction project that not everybody, you didn't see it. You may have missed it. But we went through a construction project. We were working on us, the process of reconstruction. Sometimes everybody won't see the construction workers working at midnight. You may not see them at 4 a.m., but they're working on something greater. I'm done. Cut me down because I'm through.
I told you this podcast was on a preach to us. I knew it was, because now that you broke that down, that makes so much sense. Like, we have been through the process of reconstruction without even realize that we was in that process. And then to now see the revelation of that process and to be able to give you real life examples of the reconstruction, that is how you develop. That is how you evolve. That is how we're going to keep coming back with evolving you every 2 weeks, to give you advice, to push you, to motivate you, to get you to where you need to be. Because we understand it's greater in you. You just have to be motivated and pushed into your position. You have to sometimes have that person hold your hand to get to where you need to go. And don't be ashamed to say that you need help. I'm going to keep saying that, because sometimes, I'm going to say it, I don't care. As Black individuals, I don't want your help, because I feel like you were helping me what you want. What do you really want from me? What are you trying to gain from me? And it's a whole trust factor. Even with anybody, you just like, so you're helping me, but what I got to do for you? I don't know where we get that mentality from, but you have to break that, because you never know that help that you denied can put you in a different position tomorrow. They can be that person that just says that, hey, I see greatness in you. I want to do something for you. And then you're like, okay. But that person can be getting ready to say, God could have told them in his ear, give that person a check. Don't know what the check is for, but they can literally be getting ready to give you a check, but you done denounced it because you don't understand how to accept help when help comes.
Oh, that's good. You have to be able to accept help and have the knowledge to know that you need the help and be comfortable. I'm going somewhere here, and be comfortable with the help, which means here's your ego, bring it down a notch and say, you're right, I do need help. You needed help, I need help. Help me. And then once you get that, man, you are on your way. This podcast, this is good. But I do want to touch on something, because now we about to hop into a whole different other rabbit hole, because we know what my favorite phrase is. We know what that is. It's, if you don't know, it's trust no one. And as you said that, I don't know why we as Black people have that mentality of you want to help me what you want. And that thing, it hit me, and I'm starting to deal with some things internally. Now, let me say this point right here. My favorite quote will not change, but I'm working on me. I just want to say that before anybody get confused. I'm working on me. But when you said that, it makes so much sense. Even in that, even when someone offers help, I would say my go-to thing is, because that is my phrase, and the Lord knows it because he knows me. What I do is I like to go back and say, okay, God, is this you? Is this legit? Give me discernment here, because I don't want to act in my flesh, because my flesh tells me trust no one. But if I'm in tune, I don't know how this marketing thing turned into a Jesus lesson, but if I'm in tune spiritually, then I know that my flesh of trust no one, it can't win when God is saying go forth and prosper. It can't win when a blessing is right there, because I'm going to be able to see it, because my flesh, if I'm in tune with the Lord, come on, if your spirit is there, your spirit should outshine your flesh. So with that being said, it's always key, it's always important to make sure that when you're seeking wisdom, when you're seeking help from others, you have to be in tune and say, okay, am I getting help for the right reasons? Two, are they helping me for the right reasons? So I would say, in that essence, make sure you're seeking discernment, and just make sure you're in tune with yourself. And as Cardell said, don't allow your denial of help to block your blessing, because who knows when another opportunity to help may come around? Who knows, the next class that we took, they could start charging if we would have waited. So that's why you don't want to miss your blessing. You don't want to wait too long. So discernment is key. Wisdom is key. Praying about it is key. Don't let a trust no one, I'm talking to me, don't let a trust no one block your blessing. Help me, Lord. It's me. I'm standing in the need.
And that's the thing, is that when we understand things, we embrace things. So no matter what happens, embrace it. It's going to be some good times. It's going to be some sad times. There's going to be some high times, or whatever the case might be. But embrace it, but don't get stuck there. That's the main key that I want y'all to get from the process of in this process of reconstruction. Don't get stuck in a project because you didn't think it all the way through. Take time, write out the things of where I feel like I'm weak at. Find those weak points and fix those weak points. You don't have to fix them in a day. You don't have to fix them in a week, but just identify them and work on them as you can. Because we all know how construction projects work. Like in Chattanooga right now, they've been working on this construction for the last, seem like 5-10 years, but it hasn't been that long. But, it just feels like that.
Definitely been more than 5. They were working on it when I first got to Chattanooga.
So it's like they thought out a plan and they're working their plan. And if you want to fix on those weak spots and see those improvements, then you just have to keep going and be comfortable with the process of the reconstruction. Because like Danielle said at the very beginning, once the reconstruction is done, everything is beautiful. Everything runs smoother. Like I've drove downtown and I've seen the new construction. And I'm just like, oh, I feel like I'm in a whole nother city now. I've never seen this before. Like it feels brand new. I flow in and out of traffic. I'm not having to, because it used to be real dangerous at that exit downtown by the Discovery Museum. You used to have to get up there, stop, look to see if a car was coming, and then just zoot off. But now you just flow directly into traffic. So you have to understand, break it down, break me down. Maybe this is turning into a whole spiritual thing now. So now it's like, Lord, break me. For us. Lord, break the stuff off of me that needs to be broken. Let's do that first. Then once you have broken it all off of me, remove it. Because sometimes we can't move something because it's so heavy. Sometimes stuff is weighing on you so heavy that it just can't be removed, but it has to be broken. So pray that everything that's not, every weak point, you say, God, break my weak points. And then once they are broken, God, help me remove it fully. Don't leave a crumb, don't leave an ounce, don't leave no dust. Just help me to remove it all. And then give me the conscious mindset. What I don't know, I will know. Give me the knowledge to pave down new outcomes, new growth, new money, new experiences, new friends, new everything. You just say, Lord, give me a newness that is so sweet and so smooth that I'll never have to stress or worry another day in my life. Because once you have done that, now you're living your best life and you're not going back and forth with them. So it's like this understanding that you can live your best life. Just pray about your weaknesses, that they are broken and removed. Because I feel like there's sometimes that we forget about. We say, God, break it off of me. But God also remove it, because he can break the chains, but who is removing the chains? He can break the shackles, but the shackles still have to be removed. So God, break me, remove it, and help me to move forward. Because I don't want no evidence that I was even in that. I don't want the evidence of the marks on my arms. I want to be healed from where I was bonded. And once I am healed from my bondage, then I'm able to be free. For real. Not just part of the way. Because all you did was break the chains, but didn't remove it.
My God. Whoa.
That went real left. I felt the Lord in there.
Jesus. Yes, I'm not going to add to that. I'm just going to, I can't even form a sentence. I'm just going to say, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening to this episode of Evolving You. That just blessed me. This just blessed me. The process of reconstruction. Number 1, being knowledgeable. 2, being comfortable. 3, understanding. And we're going to change that to what Cardell said. Number 1, break some stuff. Number 2, remove it. 3, new. That's good. This was good. Until next time, guys. Oh, wait. Because this podcast was so good, because we know you were blessed, share it, rate, like. When we say rate, we mean like, because you can't dislike this. Rate it and comment. Say, yes, we want more of this. Comment a topic you want us to talk about. And if you know anyone who needs help with their reconstruction process of their brand, reconstruction process of a website or their logo, feel free. we have some availability for now. Feel free to email us, contact@transitioningyou.com. You can always visit our website at transitioningyou.com as well. And you see it, Facebook, Instagram, at Digitally Evolving. Follow us, like us, and you'll see more podcasts like this, as well as some of our other projects that we're working on. So again, we thank you all for listening and watching this podcast. Until next time, guys, do not be hesitant on embracing your next round. Bye.
Hey everyone, and we just came back real quick because we were just sitting here having a discussion about everything that we just discussed. And one thing that God just dropped on us is that even in the process of your reconstruction, think about this. Even when you deal with depression, that's a season of reconstruction. Even when you deal with anxiety, that's a season of reconstruction. Because I've been through depression. I'm just going to be very honest and transparent with you. I've been through those low moments where I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to sleep. All I wanted to do was just sit up and cry and worry about what tomorrow was going to bring. I had panic attacks, and all of it came because when my grandmother passed, I stayed up at night having panic attacks and calling my mother in the middle of the night, telling her that I can't breathe. All of those times were building me for something different. It was building a stronger me to understand who I am as a person, how I need to re-identify because my structure that I had failed. My grandmother was my rock. She was the person that I always confided in. She was the one that I felt like if nothing else mattered, she was the one that was always going to motivate me. But in the midst of that, my walls fell because I needed to be reconstructed. I needed to see a new way of living. I needed to see a new way that she wanted me to be. And then sometimes when we have anxiety, all of that anxiety, understanding, like we said last week, know your why. Why are you feeling this anxiety? Why is everything happening? But in the middle of that, you are reconstructing your mindset. Your mindset is moving from why am I having these issues? Why is this happening? And then once you have reconstructed and you have figured out what it is, now you've dealt with it. Now you're figuring it out. And then after you figured it out, you're coming out a new person. So this is for any and everybody that's dealing with some type of mental illness. Your mental illness is not here to kill you. Your mental illness is not here to destroy you. Your mental illness is not going to be here forever. It's just reconstructing your mindset to understanding that even though I'm at my lowest, I'm going to be stronger because I'm building myself. Every day that you wake up, you're fighting. Every day that you say that I'm here, you're fighting. You're reconstructing the strength. Because when you get over that situation, now when something huge happens, something big breaks, all you have to say, I'm equipped with the tools because I went through the reconstruction early in life. I went through the reconstruction when I wasn't ready. I went through the reconstruction when something crazy happened. Sometimes what we need to get reconstructed is at the most inconvenient times. So when it is the most inconvenient times, embrace the reconstruction. Do not run from it. Just embrace it and get your support system and work that support system to the best of your abilities, because you don't want to miss what God is going to do. Because if I would have missed what God had for me, if I would have waddled in that, I don't believe I would have been the entrepreneur that I am today, because I would have known my grandmother would have wanted me to keep fighting. I've known that she would have wanted me to keep being a better me. So all of that hurt that I felt from that has propelled me in my reconstruction mindset to say I'm doing it not only for her, but for me as well, because I want to make myself proud. And even though she's not here, I want to make her proud. So remember that, everyone, you have to keep fighting. Even in the midst of the reconstruction, even though you're detoured, even though the cones are in the way, even though traffic is backed up, things are backed up in your life, just know that you have to keep pushing. And once you have pushed all the way through, you are going to see a different you. And evolving you is here for you. We are here for you.
We're here for you. That's well said. And just to piggyback on what you were saying, once you go through something, your next level, no matter what the task is, you can say, I know I can get through this, because if I made it through that, then this is nothing. So no matter your trial right now, your test right now, it may seem like it's hard. It may seem unbearable. It may even, you're searching for answers on, why am I going through this right now? Why am I at a standstill right now? Why am I stuck, spiritually stuck? You're stuck in the natural. Why am I stuck right here? Maybe you're not stuck there just to sit idle, but you're stuck there to analyze, okay, I'm here, but I'm not where I was. I'm here, but I am creeping along. I may not be moving as fast as I thought I was going to move. I may not be moving fast as the other side is moving. I see traffic over there moving. Why am I not moving like them? They already at their exit. They're already at their destination. They're already there. I'm at a standstill. Why? Because when you're, let me talk about me. When I'm stuck in traffic, that's when I think the most. I'm thinking the most. I'm thinking of my next plan the most. So maybe you have to just come to a moment to center yourself and understand it may seem like you're at a standstill, but you're not where you were. And you're going to get to your destination if you keep going. But if you stop and pull over, then you will forever be in that one spot. If you stop and pull over, you won't progress. If you stop and pull over, then every car that was behind you would then be in front of you. And then you'll say, how did they get there? They were just back there with me. But you stopped, they kept going. So what this podcast is really meant to do is to encourage you to keep going. We're not here to judge. We're not here to say that we're experts on any level. We're just saying we have been through that standstill moment. We've been through depression. We've been through emotional roller coasters. We've been up, we've been down. We've started a business with no money in the bank account. We've had 0 clients to multiple clients. We understand. And we just want to help the next person. We want to say, hey, we did it, you can do it. There was nothing special about what we did. All we did was say, Lord, bless this. We took bread and said, God bless the bread. We took a vision and said, God bless the vision. There was nothing spectacular. There are thousands of marketing agencies in the world. We said, God, we know you're going to bless this one. Not that you're not blessing the other ones. We know that you're over this one. So that's what evolving you is meant to do. It's meant to help you and encourage you and push you and help you get outside of that mindset of, I'm here and I'll always be here, to shift your perspective to, I'm here and I'm going to the next round. We're not just going to the next level. Anybody can level up. The world is leveling up. Everybody want to level up. We are going to the next round. Because when you go to the next round, you are higher than those who leveled up. You on a whole different, you in a different dimension. They can't even see you on their level up. They can't even see you. They can't even touch you. You're on a different, literally in a different dimension. You see differently. Your perspective is differently. You can buy different things. Let me stop playing. But yeah, that's the point of evolving you. And again, if only one person is blessed from this podcast, that's okay. That's fine. We want you to share with your family, with your friends. We understand they may not even listen to it, but if one person is blessed, then God's work was done. I'm through and I'm finished.
So with all that being said, guys, just stay encouraged and know through this journey, we are always going to be here. From your work journey, from your 9 to 5, of helping you still know your worth, and then the entrepreneurs that are struggling every day, not in a way that you're struggling financially, but just struggling with the stresses of being an entrepreneur. We're here for you too. We want to be here for everyone, not just for individuals that are entrepreneurs. We're here for everybody that has a business, not a business, that works a 9 to 5. We're here for everyone because we feel like this podcast can benefit any person in any stage and any moment in their life. We're just here to just make sure that you do evolve into something new.